That's my favourite band. That's the four of us from Gerry, all the way from Gerry. That's a song called Maybe a Cheer. You've heard that before. I played it on a number of occasions. That's from an album called Classified Personal. You should have that if you have any patriotism in you at all. It's 25 minutes to 11 o'clock. We've lots of stuff to deal with today. We talked yesterday about things mainly nostalgic. So a gentleman raised to me today, a strange debtor, a man called Peter McGuckie, and he says, on the Antrim Road overlooking Cave Hill on the left-hand side, there used to be a pipe in a wall with water flowing from it, and I used to get a drink from it. There was an alloy container that hung from a chain, and the water was really cold and good to drink. Where is it now? I don't know. Maybe somebody can give us a ring and sort us out on that. But see, many a thing disappears in the fullness of time. It's probably buried somewhere as the foundation of a Kentucky Fried Chicken place. And a gentleman... What? Excuse me a second. There's someone talking to me in the mic. I can't hear you. What? Do I remember what?
Do you remember when you went walking? When you were out the road for a walk?
Hold on a minute. See, there are people listening who do not know what you mean when...
Out the country road. That's
when
simple.
You say out the road.
Yeah, country road. Yes.
You mean on the outskirts of Derry, Stoke, Londonderry?
Yes, when we did. Yes, when we did. Yeah. But I'm sure that happened all over. We weren't the only people who had country roads.
You're sounding like Jackie Fullerton. You realise that? You just lapsed into that there.
Did I?
Yes, you did. You
I really?
Talk like that.
Yeah, yes. I did.
Why do you do that?
I don't know.
No, it's because you realise you're on the radio.
No, it's because maybe it's Jackie's my role model. I know that's what it is.
You've always admired Jackie.
I have.
May I say that last time
From afar.
Last time I saw Jackie was wearing a dinner suit, and he did ask about you. He's a great admirer of yours. Anyway, yes, yeah. Well, what's your point? What's your point here?
Do you remember drinking water from the wells?
No.
Do you never remember there'd be pipes coming out of the field?
No. This was
down there, and you would drink the water. You would go, when you're out for a wee walk, you would drink the water.
I never did.
There was always a wee well someplace, and you made your way to the well, and you had a wee drink from the well.
I never did that kind of
thing. They weren't really wells as in big holes down the ground, but we called them wells.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Why am I turned on the Jackie
I don't know. You should ask yourself that. You should really ask yourself that. Why, in the middle of a sentence, do you turn into Jackie Fullerton? It just happened.
Do you know what I think it is?
Let's see.
Look what's in my hand.
It's a pen.
Yeah. Who talks with a pen every night?
Jackie.
Yeah.
That's what. Put the pen down and see if it stops. Try another sentence.
Do you remember the little wells that you used to drink from out in the roads? For goodness sake, Gerry, we had the wells everywhere.
Now you're turning into David on 6. What are you doing different there? No, that's...
Go away.
No, I know. No, I never went for walks in the country.
Oh, you were a sickly child.
I had rickets. I had little bent legs. It's only when I got to about 18 or 19 I came out of the house at all. No, I would say you. I envy you. You know.
Yeah. Did you ever rob orchards?
No, never. I didn't do anything.
You missed all that.
I missed all.
Knick-knock. Did you ever play knick-knock?
No, never.
Never.
Can I mention the word sleigh?
Did you never?
Never on one.
Is that right?
Never on one. Hoop and cleek.
Hoop and cleek.
Never had a hoop and cleek.
What's a hoop and cleek?
You know, people in Belfast. They have a
wheel,
a stick. They call it a hoop and cleek. I always say that, and nobody knows what I'm talking about. People know what it means in Belfast, but not anywhere else.
Yeah.
I always throw it in the conversation. If I'm at a party, talking to, BBC
Jackie.
Commissioners, Jackie or people, I always say, God, I left my hoop and cleek in the car.
Yeah.
They never know what to say. No, I never went through an.
Were you good with the hoop?
No, I wasn't actually. No, I never did.
Could you go round corners?
Never did anything like that. Do you know what I used to do?
Could you guide your hoop round the corner by running around the stick? You said you played with a hoop and cleek.
No, I was only trying to impress you. No, I never went out at all.
I was great around
I was a sickly child. I used to sit at home and read books. That's what I did. Look out the window and go, look at the children playing.
Did you never went into a field and got a turnip?
No. Never.
Nyucked a turnip, nyucked a cabbage, and ate the heart or the York even?
You have to explain the word nyuck.
No, it's not. Nyuck is a Northern Ireland word.
A lot of people don't know.
It's an old Northern Ireland word. It may even be the old Scottish.
Yeah, right. This is very good.
Cheerio.
This is going nowhere. Right, thank you. I've got an email from a man here, and it's quite complimentary, which is nice, and I hesitate normally to read out things that are complimentary because I get so few of them. It says, Dear Gerry, I am fortunate in that I work Saturdays with Monday off in lieu. that runs. This means that unlike many poor working souls, I can listen to your show at least once a week. Anyway, I was telling my father about the albino. Is it albino or albino? Sorry, he's away doing something else. I was telling my father about the albino, excuse me, I don't know. Knife sharpener yesterday. We were talking about him. And he remembered him coming to Madrid Street as well. But he wonders this. Would any of your listeners remember a lady called Mary, Bloody Mary, he thinks she was nicknamed, who was well known around the streets of Belfast because she verbally attacked complete strangers for absolutely no reason on a daily basis, every day for about 10 years, maybe about, 1945 to 1955. And if you saw her in the distance, you'd cross the road to make sure to avoid her, and she would notice this, and she'd make a special point of crossing over the road to meet you and run after you and abuse you. So, does anyone out there know a lady called Mary who verbally attacks complete strangers for absolutely no reason? Well, funnily enough, I think David Dunseith knows her because David talks to her or people belonging to her or her relatives nearly every day and talk back, as far as I can say. Good morning, sir. He's gone. Hello, good morning. Sorry, there was a man in the call box there and he needed me urgently and I didn't get him. Because he ran out of money. Is that what happened? He ran out of money?
He ran out of money. He was paying for it and he couldn't wait. But he said, what he wanted to tell you about, he said he lived beside that place that you were talking about there with the pipe, with the water coming out of it.
And what happened?
He said it was an overflow from a toilet.
And people were drinking it. Well, why did somebody put a cup on a chain for a joke on it?
Well, I don't know. The man on the phone box said that.
That's our black humour here in Northern Ireland. You know, if there's an overflow from a toilet, somebody will chain a chain up and put a cup on it. And then when you see that, you say, well, this must be good water. So many as a person probably could have died about that. Okay, man, that's good. Tell him thank you. Sorry you ran out of money. I've got another man here who writes to me. There's a complaint contained in here, and I have to follow the policy of reading all letters come in here. A lot of people think that when I do get letters that are not complimentary to this programme, or indeed to Radio Ulster, that I throw them in the bin, but I don't. I read every one of them, as complainers will know. Here's a man who's got a very unusual name. My name is 01236 727715, and yes, I did change my name by deed poll to my telephone number, and this will happen someday soon in the future when people will only be known as a serial number on a computer. Well, it has long been my opinion for some time now that yourself, Mr. Coyle, John Bennett, Hugo Duncan and George Jones and other presenters in the same line as you have all become detached from the real world, and your egos have become overinflated. Your heads have become swollen, and it's amazing you can get through the studio doors to do your daily show. This is due to the fact that your bosses at the BBC have left you all in the same time slots for too long, and then year after year you've started to think that it is your divine right to broadcast to the people of the province. Just because your bosses seem to think that you're popular with the punters who listen in, and at the last count, John Bennett had 35 listeners, Mr. Anderson had 4, Hugo Duncan had 15 and George Jones 8. In the world of broadcasting, a radio presenter like yourself should only have a 3-year run and then be given the chop and not be allowed to host another radio programme for 9 years. Then when you return, nobody will remember who you are. So when presenters' 3-year periods are up, new blood should be brought in, keeping a station like Radiophile and Radio Ulster programming fresh. The only broadcasting you'll be able to do is voiceovers for adverts on TV and radio, and a faceless TV duty announcer blanked out by a caption. And I'm sure you will agree with me, Mr. Anderson, you have a face like a squashed tomato somebody has stood on. Well, thank you for that. It's nice to know somebody out there cares. And here's a person who needs some help. There's a lady rang me yesterday evening, I think, or maybe it was yesterday morning. You know, the days all blur into one another. A lady who rang up and she says she's got a black and white border collie. And it's a pup. It's only 1 year old, and it appeared at her doorstep. Now, she lives in a farm, and obviously this border collie is from an adjacent farm or somewhere not too far away. But apparently the trouble is that she doesn't mind. She knows the little dog is lost, and she brings it in, and she feeds it, and she's been looking after it for a little while, a couple of days. But the only thing is, whenever it gets a chance, it runs out and rounds up her sheep. And the thing is that she doesn't want her sheep rounded up at all. So obviously the dog has been trained, so whenever it sees a sheep, he rounds it up. So anyone out there who's got a border collie who rounds up sheep for no particular reason, and it's about 1 year old, it's black and white as many border collies are, give us a ring here at 0645 555 678, and we'll reunite the person with the border collie. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, how are you?
Gerry, this is Joan calling from Lisburn.
Yes, Joan.
I have a stray cat.
Yes.
Which arrived here last Thursday.
Yes.
It's black and ginger and it's got white paws. And I've been feeding it now since Sunday when I came back from holiday.
Yes.
And it's trying to eat my swallows.
Pardon?
It's trying to eat the swallows. We have swallows nesting in the carport.
Yes.
And it's sitting on top of the car and it's trying to pounce on the swallows as they go past.
The little bugger. Yes. So what do you suggest we do about this?
Well, maybe if you could tell people that I have this cat, maybe the owners would come and take it away.
Okay.
I've been feeding it now. I fed it very well, but it's still chasing the swallows.
No matter how much you feed a cat, he'll always want to kill a bird, you know.
Yeah.
They do it for the fun of it.
Right.
Which it marks us off from marks the animal kingdom off from us humans. Of course, we don't do anything like that, except maybe in Northern Ireland every once in a while.
Well.
Tell me this.
Yes.
Where are you?
At the top of the Pond Park Road in Lisburn.
Okay, then. So describe the cat for me again. It's got white feet.
It's got, it's black and ginger. It's quite a small cat. And
Yes.
it's got a pale purple collar.
Yes.
With wee silver studs on it, and it has white paws at the front. It's one front leg is ginger and the other one's black.
Well, there's nothing worse than having a...
It's already killed a thrush.
There's nothing worse than a front ginger leg, I'll tell you. Hold on a minute, I'm getting some information here. What do you say?
A gentleman phoned to say that the best way to get rid of stray cats, and possibly stray dogs, but stray cats, don't feed them.
Well, you see, I was away on holiday from last Thursday, and my son was here.
Yes.
And the cat came on Thursday, and he didn't feed it. And
Yeah.
that's when it killed a robin and it killed a thrush.
Yeah, two birds with one
And then
jaw.
when I came home on Sunday, I thought, well, I'd better feed it and maybe it'll stop killing the birds. And I've been feeding it, but it's still trying to swoop on the swallows.
Mm-hmm. Which is difficult. Cats find it difficult to swoop. All right, then. So I can see you're on the horns of a dilemma there.
Yeah.
All right, then. So let's see out there if anyone knows the nature of the owner of the cat can give us a ring here and maybe take this off your hands, because you don't want to be the instrument of your swallows' deaths.
No.
Okay, because you sound like a humane and humanitarian person to me.
Kind of you to say.
Okay. All right, then. Thank you.
Okay,
We'll
Joe.
let you know if any word comes in.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Sorry, my hand isn't working. I tried to push that right up, nothing happened. Look, my hand's going limp. What does this mean? Hello, good morning.
Hello, how are you, boy?
I'm fine, my hand doesn't work.
It's a mature student here, but I can't help you with that.
Good morning, mature student. How are things?
They're doing bad at the minute. They have the assignments to go in. Not doing too well. Anyway, first one, two things.
Yes.
Years ago, whenever I was young, which was many years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I had a hoop and Cleek. And my mother, she would have said, hey, you went up the shop for a pint of milk. No, it was never a pint of milk. It was a bottle of milk you got then.
Yes, of course. People didn't say pint.
That's right, a bottle of milk.
Yeah.
And she says, and you take your hoop and Cleek with you. The reason being that you would run behind the hoop and Cleek and you'd be up quickly. And you'd come back down again quick now, like you wouldn't hang around.
Is there not some element of risk with the hoop and Cleek carrying a bottle of milk?
Well, see, but years ago, like, people didn't think of safety. But anyway, she says, hey, you, go out and get a pint of milk, and you take your hoop and Cleek. Of course, I gets out the hoop and Cleek and runs way up the shop
Yes.
and left it parked outside.
What happy days those were.
And came out, and somebody had stolen it.
Stolen your hoop and Cleek?
Yes,
and your Cleek?
Hoop and Cleek, and I had to walk it home.
Yeah, the whole way unaided.
The whole way on it.
What a terrible thing. That must have been fairly traumatic for you. Maybe perhaps this explains why you are like you are today.
It is, it does. And furthermore, one day last week, I was talking to Mr. Coyle, and I told him, but he didn't care. I was talking to, in fact, it was the Official Secrets Act that he was worried about.
Yes.
And I was a friend of mine, he made a mess of his letterbox whenever he was cutting it out.
He made a mess of his letterbox?
Yeah, he did, yeah. And he should stick to selling Walker's Crisps.
Oh, he was making the letterbox?
No, he asked me for a land of a jigsaw because he's putting in a new letterbox.
Hold on a minute. I don't quite follow you. He asked you for a land of a jigsaw because he was putting in a new letterbox?
Yes.
You expect me to understand that?
Oh, not another one, all right. Do you think that DIY stands for destroy it yourself, do you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, a jigsaw is a tool.
Boys.
All right, sorry, I thought you were talking about a
Mr.
jigsaw.
Coyle, help me out here, please.
A jigsaw? No, he's not listening.
All right, anyway, to cut
A jigsaw is a little saw, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Sorry, I thought a jigsaw was a jigsaw puzzle.
Oh, no. I'm
Well,
talking
if you ask anybody what a jigsaw is,
a Black and Decker jigsaw.
why didn't you say that in the first place, for God's sake? Right, go ahead
This
then.
is the BBC, and this is like our... Anyway, you're getting away off the subject.
I know, look, carry
So
on.
I went to the B&Q car park, goes in and got him a new letterbox.
Yes.
comes out, and this here car pulls up beside me, left-hand drive car with a swarthy-faced man, and he says, "Excuse me," and he put down his window, and I went, "Yes," and I thought he was looking for directions for a minute.
Yes.
Yes. He
Yes.
says, I'm from Milan. And I says, "Oh, let me guess, and you're selling leather jackets." He says, "I am selling leather clothes, yeah." I says, so of course, I started to laugh, and he wanted to know what I was laughing at.
Yes.
And I said to him, "Gerry Anderson has everybody warned about you." And he says, "Oh, Gerry Anderson's a friend of mine," he said. He said he was a friend of yours. Furthermore, because I started laughing, and there was total strangers in the car park, I started calling them all over. Come here, quick, come here. This man's selling leather jackets." And about 10 or 15 people all just swarmed around his car.
Brilliant.
And they were all shouting at him, "Gerry Anderson has us all warned, Gerry." And then he started to fluster. And he thought that he was going to get mobbed or beaten up or something.
Well,
And he started to swear blind that you were a personal friend of his.
Really?
And he even gave us his name. He says that his name was Marco Marzini.
Marco Marzini.
Yeah, so there we are now.
Right, we've named one.
We have a name, and I even have his car registration number, but I told Mr. Coyle that he says that we're not
No,
allowed.
that's okay. No, we don't want to give that out just in case an innocent bystander. Okay, who may be mobbed and beaten to death. Okay, then. Well, that's very interesting. I mean, funny enough, I got a fax the other day from a lady who sends us faxes on a regular basis.
does, yes.
From Virginia. She's our critic. And she said, "What do you hear this?" And she says, "This is absolutely true. I haven't got it with me. I haven't got the exact words, but I can remember the gist of it." She went into a shopping mall in Virginia, right?
And Marco was there?
No. And she went into this particular shop. I think it was a shop selling shoes, apparently. And apparently this swarthy chap came over to him. Not swarthy chap came over to him. An American, of course, Italian-American or whatever. And
Puerto Rico or something.
And no, not necessarily Puerto Rico, but, obviously maybe Italian. No, just a tanned, swarthy gentleman came over to her. And engaging her in conversation as to what type of footwear she would possibly desire to look at. What?
Would this have been a shoe shop?
Didn't I say?
No, you didn't. You said she went into some sort of a shop that was selling.
I said
some sort of a shop selling shoes. So I'm just wondering.
Well, isn't that a shoe?
Yeah, but why didn't you say that?
All right, some sort of a shop selling shoes, which I would call a shoe shop. And this gentleman came over to her, and he said to her, he said, "Where are you from, honey?" Because that's the way Americans talk. She says, I'm from Northern Ireland." And she says,
"Do you know Gerry Anderson?"
He did. Yeah. And she says, "How do you know him?" She said, "I sold him shoes once in Florida."
Oh!
Hey! Beat that one.
Yeah, well, hang on a minute. I am very big in Malaysia.
Are you really?
Yes, but that's for another day.
Okay, we won't talk about that. So I wish you the best of luck in your exams. I take it they're coming up
I
soon.
don't have exams to do. I have assignments to do instead.
Okay, get back to it.
I'm trying to be a doctor, remember?
Oh no, it's not easy to be
God
a
help
doctor.
the people.
Okay, all right. God bless you.
Okay, God bless all here.
Okay, goodbye. May you soon take your Hippocratic oath. Okay then.
Okay, see you.
Goodbye. Right. Oh, another thing before I go any further. There's a gentleman. Do you remember the fellow we talked to on this program who invented a board game?
Right.
Do you remember him?
Yes.
And he had it patented.
Yes.
And it went on sale and did very well.
That's right.
Do you remember his name?
No, but I think he was a window cleaner from...
Right.
Would it be Portadown or someplace? It was a window cleaner, I think.
Really? A wonder cleaner?
Aye.
A wonder cleaner?
I find that funny, don't you? It's so...
All right then. Listen, said he, trying to get the listeners' attention. If the gentleman who is a wonder cleaner, if that gentleman, the fellow who invented the board game...
What is he? You said, what is he?
It's a window cleaner.
Oh, that's all, isn't it? That's very Wendy Austin, isn't it?
It's the window cleaner. So, if he's listening, will he contact us, because we want to talk to him. The man who invented the board game and patented it and did very well, who was a wonder cleaner. Let's talk to him. Right, do you know that we've had many requests to hear a song by James Peake called Step Aside?
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yes.
And you know what I'm going to do in response to those requests?
Play it.
Yeah.
I gotta say